Kelly Rowland is finally exposing Beyonce for her connections to Diddy and how the former lead vocalist of Destiny's Child was involved in the murder of Aaliyah. Beyonce is allegedly helping Diddy contact people and pressurize witnesses named in his upcoming trial.
Right at the end of the day on Wednesday, it reads, the court has evaluated each of the factors that it must consider under the relevant law. 1, nature and circumstances of the offense charged. 2, weight of the evidence against the person. 3, history and characteristics of the person. And 4, nature and seriousness of the danger that would be posed by the person's release. And it also says that the court has also reviewed the information submitted by Combs and the government across all 3 bail hearings in this case. As you remember, Sean Combs was denied bail both by a magistrate judge and a district court judge. Judge Subramanian writes, the court finds that the government has shown by clear and convincing evidence, so that's the standard, that no condition or combination of conditions will reasonably assure the safety of the community. In support of this finding, the court provides the following reason.
Kelly and Beyonce have known each other for almost 3 decades after working together on Destiny Child and becoming one of the biggest girl groups of all time. Kelly saw firsthand everything that Beyonce did, and now she's speaking out about it. Allegedly, Kelly has been trying to escape Beyonce ever since she left Destiny's Child, but hasn't been able to get away.
People wanted those stories for years. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think that people wanted those stories for years, and that's just so sad on them because it's not like that. You know what I mean? It's so crazy. And I just think it's so sad that we live in a world where people don't want to see women get along and encourage and empower each other.
Could let me be quiet and send your message and tell us how you feeling and family and how you feeling about everything.
Well, 1, this is beautiful what you're doing, like I said, and 2, we've all said it before, we are so grateful to all the healthcare workers. I just keep thinking about the fact that they are with so many people and putting their lives.
Throughout her career, Kelly has had to deal with Beyonce pushing her around and never letting her have a life of her own. Using Diddy, Jay-Z, and their connections to music executives, Beyonce made sure that Kelly was blacklisted and could never become as big as she was. No matter where Kelly went, Beyonce reminded her that she was controlling everything from behind the scenes. Eventually, Kelly spoke out about this in her song Dirty Laundry.
Did actress Kelly Rowland storm out of the Today Show after she was asked questions about Beyonce? Initially, it was reported that Rowland, a former member of Destiny's Child with Beyonce, was upset over a subpar dressing room. Now it's being reported it was questions from Savannah Guthrie about you-know-who that led to the drama.
What do you think about your friend Beyonce? She's like your sister. You guys literally grew up together. She's stepping into country.
So proud of her.
I know, but were you surprised, and what do you think about it?
I'm so proud of her.
Yeah.
So happy for her.
Looks like Rowland wants to change the subject and talk about her new Netflix movie, Mea Culpa.
She's back a little later this morning, guest hosting with Hoda. How fun is that?
We will see.
Some say hearing this tease pushed her over the edge.
We're going to chat about that. We're going to chat about her music career and what she thinks about Beyonce going country.
Uh-oh, she immediately scowls, then mouths the word no.
I talked to my sources and they said that actually Kelly was very upset with Savannah's line of questioning. She normally asks interviewers not to mention Beyonce, otherwise every single interview is going to be about Beyonce.
Allegedly, Beyonce was jealous of Aaliyah after Jay-Z became interested in her. Peeling back the layers of this story, we see that even Aaliyah's husband, Dame Dash, believes that Jay-Z was responsible for the murder of Aaliyah, and he did it because of Beyonce. Beyonce didn't want anyone to overshadow her, and she didn't care if it was Aaliyah or her Rowland. She was going to destroy their career.
When he did the record with him, with Jay, that's why I was that was almost like one of the things where I was just like, he's out of here, Jake. I just let it go because I couldn't believe he did a project with her, with R. Kelly, knowing that he had raped my girl.
For me, because for 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. And the victim-making machine kept going on.
Jay-Z has been notable by his silence since these charges were brought against Diddy. Why do you think that is?
Because that's what he does. He starts little fires everywhere. forces everyone involved to go and carry water while he sneaks away without a response. That changes now, Sean. You must respond. You have no choice. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs have one person in common, professionally and privately. Sean Carter. This has been a fist of tyranny that has been punching through our culture and our society for decades. It must stop.
There's been obviously a lot of
cruelty-free artistry.
Right, there's been a lot of rumor mill about what has happened in the rap world. A lot of allegations that the misogyny in the lyrics clearly was based on a general misogyny towards women away from the music, and that clearly seems to have been borne out by these charges against Diddy, which if he's found guilty of all this, he's never coming out of prison. How dangerous do you think?
Thank God.
How dangerous do you think he is as a person?
I think he's one of the most dangerous people I've ever met. A lot of people have been questioning, well, she doesn't really know him. She has no knowledge of him. She doesn't have a picture with him. I'm smarter than Claudia Jordan. I would never take a picture with the devil. Everyone knew he was the devil. He's been the devil for 30 years. He's been covered and protected by not only Clive Davis, but Lucian Grange. He was selected to be the demon that he is, to keep the culture in line so the industry could continue to rape it for all of its precious jewels. We have too many lost. The list of lost is ridiculous, and everyone knows Diddy was selected for this job.
Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Diddy were involved in one of the biggest blackmail and sex trafficking rings in Hollywood and the music industry. Jay-Z and Beyonce would use their influence to pressure celebrities into partying with Diddy, and Diddy would drug them and later use their videos as blackmail. Unlike Diddy, Jay-Z and Beyonce were the ones who got their hands dirty and allegedly were even involved in murders.
Unnecessary court fees and litigations because Jay-Z wants me broken, stopped, or under his control. And it ain't gonna happen, Sean. I'm never gonna be under your control. Never. You need to learn how to control your wife and her friends and their mouths. Because you got Beyonce in the Beehive looking real fucking dumb right now. 5 million unfollowed, and that number's gonna go up with every image in one of those freak-off tapes. And God help, if anybody here, how that bitch really talks about people with her, they'll start unfollowing by the tens of hundreds. Again. And they should. Because the truth is, the only reason they were following was because of the witchcraft and the spells that were being pushed out through the media. Y'all ain't fans because y'all really love them and y'all really think they're the best. You're fans because you fell for the hype. And they are hypes. I know I can sing. I've been able to do that my whole life. And they've been trying to stop me my whole career. Because see, unlike Beyonce, I'm not willing to hurt people to get famous. See, that's the part of the story that they're not telling y'all. That the more terrible you are, the more they'll protect you.
This conspiracy goes much deeper than what most people think. Diddy is just the face of the operation. But in reality, the FBI is going after a whole ring of collaborators that have been blackmailing and abusing minors for decades. These people were caught on tape, and once these tapes come out, it's not just Diddy who's going to end up behind bars.
There are a lot of people in Hollywood were probably worried about which Diddy parties they were at and what was going on. That's not to say that they were necessarily even involved in any of the things that are alleged by the U.S. Attorney's Office. But if you're at that party and it turns out that that's when he set up one of these freak-off sex parties, or that it was going on in another room and you didn't know about it, there's a good chance that you're going to be called by the U.S. Attorney's Office. And certainly if you were involved, you would get a call, because they're going to want to know everything you want to know and may even want you to be a witness. I just think, we're just starting to scratch the surface of what this case, this case is going to touch and involve. And the feds have said that this remains an open investigation. There could be more charges for Diddy. There could be more charges for other people involved. And usually the way this works is once they find out other people are involved or were witnesses, they bring them in and they sort of lean on them, and it's sort of like, you're going to cooperate with us, or there's a possibility that you could face charges. So this is going to be a slow developing a case here, because we're just getting started, and I don't see how this trial begins anytime before next year.
Criminal defense attorneys have pointed out that it's weird how both the FBI and Homeland Security are involved in a case that involves sex trafficking. The extent of the operation suggests that something much bigger is happening, and that's probably why Diddy hasn't been allowed to go out on bail. It has already been proven that Diddy was friends with both Donald Trump and Obama, and allegedly even British royalty has been exposed in this case.
How do you feel about the situation that Diddy in?
Let's say this. Something else is going on. They didn't raid, they searched with a warrant his premises on the West Coast, right? They searched his premises on the East Coast in Florida, right? On the same property that the premises was located that they searched in Florida, he had a second mansion. They didn't touch that one. Why not? And when they walk out of there, they got a small trash bag and they have a medium-sized cardboard box. What was it they seized that would fit into those items? I have a sneaking suspicion from my background in criminal defense that what they seized was some evidence that was very incriminating to other people. Now, after they seized the evidence, they had no probable cause to arrest him on any crime. He hasn't been indicted. They talked to him at an airport before he got on a private jet to fly to an island that has no extradition agreement with the United States. Have you heard anybody trying to prosecute him?
Not at all.
So what did they do? See, the feds are interesting. Who served the search warrant?
Homeland Security.
Now, what the hell do they have to do with that? That's a FBI mandate.
Beyonce and Jay-Z are worried about the bad publicity they're getting as a result of Diddy's case. Ever since the raid on Diddy's mansion in September of 2023, all eyes have been on Jay-Z and Beyonce. Both of them were best friends with Diddy, and it's honestly impossible for them not to know what was happening behind the scenes. Were they silent about what was happening, or were they actually helping Diddy?
How many victims potentially do you think there could be?
Thousands. Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim Porter?
Keeping people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about, Pierce.
Listen, like I said, Jay-Z and Beyonce are not here, unfortunately, to respond to that.
I know. I'm just being honest with you.
You're perfectly entitled to your views, obviously. Kim Porter,
yes.
A new book claims that Diddy may have been involved in her early death. What do you think of that?
I think people should really look into that more. I am friends with Albie Shore. I love him. I love his children. I knew Kim. We used to all hang out together at the Kit Kat Club back in the mid-90s when Diddy was first starting his reign. I watched that whole thing happen. And Everything that Albert has been through, every attempt on his life that has been ignored by the authorities, it all leads back to Diddy, and everyone knows it. The wiretapping of the phones, putting air tag on children during visits, these are practices that these people do.
Jaguar, I've got to leave it there. I really appreciate you joining me. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. And thank you for caring.
I do care. Thank you very much.
More and more tapes are coming out implicating new celebrities, and allegedly 8 of Diddy's freak-off tapes have been handed over to the FBI. These tapes, which were given to the FBI by a source that was close to Diddy's ex-wife Kim Porter, allegedly incriminate some of the biggest names in the music industry. Jaguar Wright, Jay-Z's backup dancer, has already claimed that Jay-Z raped her and filmed the act.
And those statements include descriptions of what the witness says he saw on those tapes. So I asked him about that, and he answered what he could, given the limitations imposed on him after testifying before the grand jury. Out of those 8 videos, 8 celebrities, 6 men and 2 women, how many of those 8 celebrities were close to being underage or potentially underage?
2 males.
2 males. And of those 8 celebrities, how many of them were intoxicated or under the influence of drugs?
This is going to be all speculation. I just want to preface it by he wouldn't know if they were. Right.
Sure.
Appeared to
Let
be.
me rephrase
Right.
it.
Based on, yes.
Understand. Out of the 8 celebrities who were recorded having intimate relations with Sean Combs, how many of them appear to be either inebriated or intoxicated or under the influence?
All of them. All of them.
Out of those 8, how many appear to be potentially victimized? How many might have been victimizing?
I think all, to be honest, all.
Were victims
They
or
victims.
were perpetrating?
Victims.
They were all 8 were victimized,
Yeah,
meaning this was happening to them and they were inebriated.
Right. Not knowing, I guess, how much proof it was in it, what they was doing.
Gene Deal, Diddy's ex-bodyguard, has explained in detail how Diddy would try to obtain leverage on people he needed favors from. Allegedly, everyone that Diddy worked with had some kind of dirt on. Diddy knew that the day would come when he would need help, and he thought the tapes he had would protect him. Unfortunately for Diddy, as it turns out, the tapes he recorded to keep himself safe are the very things that are going to send him to prison.
How many friends he have and nobody came out?
They brand. It's all about the money. They saw what he did to Cassie. With the kicking, the punching. They saw what they did to Cassie. They know that nobody in America liked that. So now, these people are represented by a brand. Whether it's something about the music, clothing, movies. They're not gonna come out and speak on nothing that has anything to do with them. And they praying that they not on the tape. Doing crazy stuff, being oiled up in the whole 9 yards. They praying. So until the feds say, hey, yo, listen here. We got you on, hey buddy, we got you on this tape, and girl looked like she was pretty young. We're not gonna show it, but we need you to come and testify against Brother Love, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, you know, Sean Combs. That's when they're gonna start talking, and they're not gonna be talking in his favor. When the feds come to them and show them what they got on tape, because if he had 250 tapes all over, 250 cameras all over the house, somebody got caught stealing a cookie out the cookie jar. It could be your favorite pastor. It could be your favorite politician. But they didn't think they was being watched. And Brother Love was watching.
Yeah, I mean, TD Jakes, he haven't even came out and said anything. And him and Diddy was real cool.
Amen. Amen. Yeah, man. And I know the people in the congregation over there is shaking in their boots because this man didn't led them probably, allegedly probably led them to damnation because those people's hearts are gonna be broken if that man is seen on those tapes doing anything. Because people always put their faith in the pastor instead of putting their faith in God. And what they need to do is understand that he's just a man. And he has a history. It's not looking too good for him.
So you feel like celebs are worried that they might be on tape?
Oh, they know. That's why they ain't speaking up or saying nothing. Yeah, I was at a Diddy party, but I know I ain't do nothing. When you don't know somebody's taping you, when you don't know that somebody is videoing you in some kind of form or fashion, you got that alcohol, you got the drugs in you, they're a little loose, bruh. They let down all their inhibitions. The music is pumping. He said it himself. He got it so hot in there that you gotta take your clothes off. He said that himself, bruh.
The people speaking out against Jay-Z and Beyonce are in danger. Jay-Z allegedly loved Aaliyah, but he still got rid of her. What do you think he's going to do with someone that he doesn't even like? In a recent interview on Cam Capone News, Big Homie CC warned Jaguar Wright of what Jay-Z might do to her and advised her to stay safe.
She got song credits for writing for Al Green.
Take me through them not wanting to let her in the club.
She showed up to a place. Some of the people in there was loyal to some of the people she was speaking out about. They wouldn't let her in. And she wasn't going for that. She started setting it up. She started bugging up on the guys. They had to call the police on old girl. Oh, bro. Jaguar Wright get wild, bro. And if something happened to her, I just want to tell Jaguar Wright, be careful. She just went on Piers Morgan. Beyonce and Jay-Z sent Piers Morgan a cease and desist. Made Piers Morgan publicly apologize. Today. It's about to get dangerous for a lot of people, so if you out here doing what you're doing, because y'all not me. So you better be on your P's and Q's. It's about to get ugly. This is when people start to turn up dead right now. So keep that in mind.
More than 36 cases have been filed against Diddy and his co-conspirators in civil and criminal courts. These cases are going to shake the very foundations of the music industry and destroy one of the biggest music firms in the world. If Diddy goes down, a lot more people are going to go down with him. The only question is who these people are going to be.
We intend to name people in these lawsuits. We're not going to do it in interviews. We're not going to do it, without doing our due diligence, because obviously, these types of allegations are very hurtful to people if they're not true, and very hurtful, frankly, if they are true. But if they're true, you shouldn't have been in the room and you shouldn't have been participating. So I anticipate that we're going to start filing lawsuits, and it may not be big names at first, but we have a long list of names, and you might imagine in situations like this, that when a victim tells us that this person was in the room or this person participated, we want to do as much due diligence as humanly possible before we file that case, because in the United States, in almost every state, public filings are in fact public. And, when you name somebody in a lawsuit, the press is going to pick it up, and we're aware of that. So we're going to make sure that we dot our I's and cross our T's. And I expect that there will be some people named in these lawsuits that will raise some eyebrows.
Another instance,
another minor, told allegedly by Sean Combs that he would make him a star, but he needed to visit with him in private about it, away from his parents. Once they were in a private area, allegedly Mr. Combs made the victim perform oral sex upon him. Another incident, an individual 15 years old at the time, flown to New York City to attend a party, was drugged, and then taken into a private room, allegedly in the presence of Mr. Combs, where this female individual, minor, was raped, and then other individuals took turns raping her. Another individual, 26 at the time of the occurrence, was picked up allegedly by Mr. Combs and several other people in a black SUV from the airport, was given one drink in the SUV, and then literally woke up the next day not knowing what had happened, but with pain and damage to both her vagina and her anus, where she then went to the hospital. She was missing her underwear and her shoes. Another instance, an individual, this time not a minor, attended a group dinner, allegedly with Sean Combs in Miami. She wasn't drinking because she was pregnant, but whatever she drank at the table, apparently, at least according to her, was laced with something. She blacked out, and she woke up in the same bed, again allegedly, with Mr. Combs in his mansion in Miami. Her vagina and her anus were torn and sore.
With more evidence and witness testimonies surfacing, the true scale of this conspiracy is starting to emerge. But what do you think? Is Kelly Rowland finally breaking free from Beyonce's shadow? Or is there more to this than meets the eye?